Hi, I'm Charlie, and this is Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders is available both as a podcast, wherever you get great podcasts, and on video on our YouTube channel, Cooking Secrets for Men. So today, very pleased to have as my guest, Dr. Tiffany Tardy. Tiffany?
Good morning, Charlie.
Good to see you.
Good.
So Tiffany is the president and CEO of Pearls for Teen Girls. It's a nonprofit here, a 30-year-old nonprofit, I believe, here in the Milwaukee area. She's also on this year's list of 40 under 40, which is our emerging leaders here in the city. And we always like to talk to people on that list because, as it's been pointed out by a lot of the OGs, there are a lot of thinking outside of the box that's coming from the 40 under 40 crowd. So very pleased to have you here. So let's start where we usually start, the beginning. So you were born and raised here in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about your growing up years, your early years, before heading off to college.
Yeah, so I am a proud Milwaukeean, and I come from humble beginnings, I would say. I love the fact that my family migrated here from Mississippi, and my mother wanted a better life for her daughters, and particularly a better education. So that's what I remember mostly about my childhood, are my educational experiences. And even now with our Pearls being right down the street from Golda Meir, that's where I went to elementary school.
Oh, okay.
And I have fond memories of walking downtown to the Symphony or to the museums. And when I see those kids still now in the neighborhood doing that, it brings back so many memories, because that's really what really shaped me. And so as a young girl, I really didn't do as much of I wasn't the outdoor kid. I was really the one that was reading books and watching TV. TV is still my guilty pleasure, and it's always been my guilty pleasure.
God love her.
I love TV, reality TV.
Did you hear
it's
that?
terrible.
Hear that, Ellen? So doctor loves TV.
I still love TV.
Okay.
What are you going to do, right? I read and I also watch TV.
Okay.
But that was really my childhood, and a whole lot of school experiences, and I was just very fortunate to have wonderful education in Milwaukee public schools growing up, and then also a family that really cheerleaded for me. For me, there was no option besides getting a high quality education, going off to college and pursuing my dreams. And so when we were growing up, I didn't even know that we didn't have much money or any of those things, because our parents really worked hard to make sure that we had everything that we needed. Yeah. And so it's a really, I think, I appreciate my growing up. I appreciate growing up in Milwaukee. What I will say, though, is that growing up here, I didn't necessarily fully understand all that our city is and has to offer until I was an adult. Because, growing up in my neighborhood, you only kind of had particular surroundings, or we took our trips to Mississippi in the summers, and that was really my experiences. And then growing up and into adulthood, getting to see all of the different communities, restaurants, opportunities, experiences has been really cool too as an adult.
Let's talk about college. So you got your undergrad at Madison.
Yeah.
Your master's at UW-Whitewater, and then you got a doctorate at Alverno. So the question I like to ask people who have doctorates is, was that your plan when you entered college as a teenage freshman?
No. Well, technically, my plan was to become a doctor, and that's kind of my little shtick now, is that I always wanted to be a doctor. I'm just a different type of doctor now. When I went to college, I thought I was going to be a medical doctor and thought I had it all figured out. Graduated top of my class from Rufus King High School. Shout out to the
Tigers?
Generals.
The Generals?
No.
Who are the Tigers?
Riverside.
Oh, Riverside.
No.
Okay.
We are indeed the Generals.
There you
go. We take it seriously,
Apologize
Charlie.
to Rufus King.
But I really thought I had it all figured out, and then I got to college and had nothing figured out, which is the case for most college students, and really
you weren't alone.
Yeah, that's really what drove my career, because then I started a career in higher education, trying to help others like me, because I did not have the most flowery college experience, but it definitely taught me a lot, and I think that a lot of my curiosity and grit comes from my experience at UW-Madison in particular. But I went to UW-Madison as a pre-med, and then a double major in Spanish as an undergraduate, and then went through courses and did not want to be a doctor. Went to my advisor and was like, I have no idea. Then what am I going to do then? Because I definitely didn't know anything besides medicine when I went into college.
Sure.
So that was very interesting. And having one of those moments with your advisor as you're finishing your sophomore year of college and thinking that this is the one route, and then it's like, oh, never mind, I need to do something else.
Sure.
So really in that meeting, it was like, well, you're 12 credits away from this degree in Spanish, so you can either finish your degree early or you can take on another major. I was like, I'm out of here. So I graduated early and still didn't know what I was doing, but I had a degree, right? And thankfully I was through networking, really, an advisor on campus at UW-Madison connected me to UW-Whitewater and the team there. And that's where I always like to say I really grew up, because UW-Whitewater, I was there for 9+ years, and it taught me everything that I know as far as...
Both studying and working, or just working?
Both.
Okay.
So I went there to go to graduate school, and I did my MBA there. And then while doing my MBA, I started working on campus, first as a graduate assistant, and then took on a full-time role working in, back then it was academic support services, but it really was the multicultural student services. A lot of what we're seeing being cut from universities now is really what, number one, I think fueled my passion for the work in education, but really where I learned so much about educational access, student retention, supporting students from low-income backgrounds, but then also students from different ethnic backgrounds, and understanding what those cultural assets are and the things that they bring to their college experiences, and then how to support them through those experiences. Number one, being first-generation college students, myself included, where you don't necessarily know how to that's what a lot of my navigational challenges, or my challenges in undergrad, came from, was the fact that I didn't have anybody who had gone to college before. I didn't understand certain language. I didn't understand how to navigate.
Right.
So my career has been around how do we help educate, support, provide those tools and resources so that they can be their best selves. And so with that, I've been able to support thousands of students to receiving college degrees, which is really the highlight of my life,
right,
is being able to say that, like, you were a part of something bigger, and then you know that you've seen lives transformed and then families transformed. And I have graduates who are, doctors themselves, lawyers, entrepreneurs, business,
Sure.
Senior, executives at this point, because now we're almost 20 years into a career. So it's pretty cool.
Good.
Yeah. But I didn't know I was going to be a doctor. Going back to
gonna-
your first question.
All right.
No.
So your early career at UW-Whitewater was in higher education. And you have been dealing with higher education pretty much since you started graduate school.
Yeah.
And now you're with Pearls for Teen Girls. And that is also geared towards higher education.
Yes, and so Pearls has been one of the, so I transitioned into the nonprofit world about 5 years ago, first higher education adjacent, and then really Pearls has allowed me this opportunity to fuel the additional part of my passion, which is around women. And so my doctorate degree is around women leaders and helping build future women leaders in Milwaukee, but really this desire to show how powerful women are and the assets that they bring, again, right? And what types of support, because women, and particularly women of color, and particularly black women is who I study in my work, come with a different set of identities that make them very unique, right? And how that you approach them, how you support them, etc. So that has been also something that has been important for me in my career, is how do I continue to elevate women? And being able to work with Pearls is the first opportunity that I'm working, one, with underage, because I worked at Mount Mary University.
I guess up till 12th grade?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're up to 12th grade. So really looking at the pre-college space, right? And saying what are the things that need to be true as you're helping build future leaders, and recognizing that you have to start early and you have to start young.
Sure.
And Pearls has allowed that opportunity where we are really working to empower young girls, 5th grade to 12th grade, with that self development and building identity, building sisterhood, all of those character types of tools that are the things that you don't necessarily learn in a classroom. And as you're navigating life as a teenage girl, and I don't want to be a teenage girl today. It was really hard for me as a teenage girl. It was really hard for me as a teenage girl growing up.
I would agree. I am very glad that I had 2 teenage boys and no teenage girls. So
Charlie, I don't know what you do with a teenage girl today, right? And I really do.
Throw up your hands.
When I talk to families, though, that's what I find to be the beauty of Pearls, because I say that's why we're here. This is the whole purpose of Pearls 30 plus years ago, is recognizing that like there needs to be a trusted space where girls can be themselves, but then also really be empowered with those tools to help build confidence, right? Build that leadership, build all of those different things as like thinking about today and the internet and all of these social pressures and making, difficult decisions. We really want to be a part of that space. So we have professional staff members as well as teenage staff members, younger staff members. We have an intergenerational model that works with these girls at where they are, and helping them to build that peer support, but then also to build navigational and cultural capital. So that's been really cool for me, being able to go into a completely different space, but really the desire is the same, is to help build these leaders in our community, and us walking alongside them, then also providing college and career exploration support and saying, how do we, and that's something that I've had to actually be pushed on, of like, career is not necessarily a college path. Right. But our goal is to present all the opportunities possible for girls, so that they know that there's so much more out there besides what so many hear, that you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be a nurse, you have to be a teacher, in order for you to see success, and realizing that actually you can do those things, and then there's so many other types of things out there as well. But what's going to fuel you? Like, I've been able to find the things that really matter to me in my life, and being able to support girls and doing the same thing has been really special. So
was your experience at Alverno as a pre-Pearls, correct?
So actually,
or
during,
contiguous?
I finished, now that you're saying that, I finished my doctorate the year that I joined Pearls. So I joined Pearls in August, and then I completed in December.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Yeah, tail end.
It's a great organization, and we're gonna talk to somebody who used to work there. We have a special guest out in the audience.
Oh.
Out there somewhere, who I think is gonna help us when we go back and cook. So we call this serious people with serious jobs having a little fun. We're gonna have a little fun. So I want to give you one of our aprons. And so, Tiffany, why don't you tell us what we're making today?
So we are going to make my mac and cheese.
Okay.
Soul food mac and cheese.
Soul food mac and cheese.
Which means that we're baking it, and we're creating a roux.
Okay.
And we're going to be using all types of good, yummy cheeses to make what is really a staple in the Black community.
Okay.
Is you need to have some good mac and cheese.
Well, white people eat mac and cheese too, so.
Yeah. But I'm telling you.
I think my boys grew up on it, so. Microwave mac and cheese in a cup.
See,
but yes,
no.
It's a cultural thing.
The baked mac and cheese is, and it's controversial. And there are ways that you can make mac and cheese. And if you look even on TikTok today, because I was, right? Like, okay, how is this going to pan up to what other folks are doing? There's always going to be in the comments of, you have to do this. You should have done that. You shouldn't have done that. So we'll see what people think of my mac and cheese.
This is my version. It's shut up.
Period, Charlie.
That's what I would tell them. But, you're much nicer than me, so you probably wouldn't say that. So we've done a little prep work back here. So give us a minute to go back. We're going to get on the kitchen. Tiffany's going to put her apron on some point.
Oh, you want me to put it on now? Absolutely, Charlie.
Of course.
I can put it on right
It's
now.
branding.
I can try.
Branding.
Here we go.
So give us a minute, and we'll be right back.
Awesome.
All right, so here we are. We're in the kitchen area, and our special guest is Danae Davis. They're on the old school apron. And so Danae was a previous president and CEO of Pearls for Teenage Girls. And so Danae, you and I have the same job right now, right?
Right. We are retired.
We're retired. So Danae is going to help Tiffany. And this is kind of a reverse because the OG is going to help the newbie do this. So Tiffany, why don't you, Danae's going to cut these beautiful heirloom tomatoes and put it on a platter over there, and then put a little basil and stuff. So Tiffany, go ahead and let's get started on your mac and cheese.
All right. So the first thing we're going to do is start by creating a bit of a roux.
Okay.
And so a roux is really just a little bit of a mixture here of butter. So we'll probably do about a few tablespoons of butter here.
All right.
To just start us off, we're going to turn on the stove.
Tiffany, know there's a rule in my house and many houses. There's no such thing as too much butter.
I think we probably need a little bit more butter than Charlie.
There's no such thing.
So we're going to take some butter and let it melt down a bit.
Okay.
And then we're going to add flour once this butter has
All right.
melted.
Let's see what. Ooh, look at there, Danae. There's a.
Oh, those
you-
tomatoes are beautiful.
Look at that. So Danae is. Oh, she's just a star. It's a natural in the kitchen. All right.
Oh, yeah,
And we have another rule too.
Uh-huh.
We can edit anything.
Oh, great. Even better.
So dead air is not a problem.
Okay, good.
So I want to point out Tom Garvey. We have two of our friends here, Senor Avocado and Popeye with his vinegar, and then of course, as always, Olive is here. So that is 8 tablespoons altogether of flour.
This is 8 tablespoons of flour.
Yes.
So we're going to just slowly start to add some of the flour
So you said you do this pretty much by feel.
by feel.
Okay.
Yes. And we're just trying.
Just want to warn you that this burner is a turbo burner.
I see.
We better check on Danae and see how she's doing. Wow. Look.
A little bit more flour here.
Oh, Danae, you're. All right, so we're adding more flour. We're rouxing.
We're rouxing.
That's a cooking term for making a roux. I don't know if you knew that or not.
I didn't. But we are
I just
indeed
made it up.
rouxing.
Rouxing.
We've gotten to a little bit thicker here, which is where we want it to be.
Okay.
And then we're gonna slowly start to add. Oh, you're
You got
good.
some whole milk.
Some whole milk here. And you want fat, so you want it to be heavier. So we want milk, and then that's when we're gonna also add some heavy cream, heavy whipping cream.
That's 2 cups there. All right.
And so this is just to get us started. We'll add more as we start to build the cheese sauce. We have a few different types of cheese that we're going to use today. You can do whatever combination you want, but I always use like a sharp cheddar cheese. I always love like a combination of Colby. This is Colby Jack.
Right.
And then Gruyere is one that I love to use
Yes.
just to give that like good richness to
We
the
like to
mac and
say
cheese.
Gruyere because it makes
Gruyere.
us sound.
Fancy.
Yes.
Great. So we're gonna start just kind of adding in some of the cheese, and we'll do it combination.
So there's our Colby Jack.
That's the Colby Jack, and we're just gonna start stirring,
And we'll melt into
and it's
the.
gonna start melting in. And the cheese is blending all in there. So now I'll start adding a bit more. So I'm gonna add
so
some of the
some-
Gruyere.
Gruyere cheese. And here's our pasta.
Pasta's waiting for us.
We cook that and it's al dente. Just a little bit.
And then now you can see how it's gotten a bit thicker.
Yep.
I'm gonna start adding some more of
Alright,
the
so
heavy cream. And then I'm gonna add more of the milk.
We gotta check on Danae and see how she's doing. Oh, looky here. Put a little balsamic glaze on. Got some basil. Want some salt and pepper?
Yes, please.
All right, Danae, I don't know. Tiffany, you got more jobs for today. She knocked that one out.
Not just yet.
All right. So we have a recipe for 8 ounces, but we've doubled it because we're feeding.
Feeding a little crew here today.
There's a bunch of people out in the audience, and my wife is coming down, and my friend Tom is coming down. So.
There she is.
Oh. It's my wife coming in the door. Oh.
So now at this point, now that I'm getting closer, and then we're gonna save some of the rest of this cheese for when we get ready to pour.
Okay.
And then for our topping as well. But now that we're getting pretty close here in our cheese sauce, we're gonna start to season it.
Okay. Well, hold on just a second.
Okay.
We have to check Danae's work.
Okay.
All right, Danae, you are excused to go drink your coffee.
Okay. Thanks, Danae.
We'll call you back when it's.
If you need.
We'll call you back when it's time to eat. All right.
I'm actually gonna turn it up just a little
I
bit.
thought she'd
there
never
you go.
leave.
Love Danae.
We love Danae too.
So then you see, yep, we're pretty close to where we want to be.
All right.
It's a nice kind of cheesy
Very
consistency
thicky.
there. Thicky.
That's another word I
That's a good
invented.
word.
Ruining and thicky.
There you go. So now we'll just do a little bit of seasoning.
Okay, show me your spices as you're going.
So this is salt-free
That's a
Cajun seasoning.
Yeah.
So I just like to use a little bit of that just for
Tony's.
some Tony's, that's my jam. And
Yeah.
then I'll use a bit of garlic powder.
Okay, garlic powder. It's
And-
another rule that we have. There is no such thing as too much garlic.
Oh yeah, I love me some garlic. And then we'll add just a bit of black pepper here.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and then the final thing is going to be a bit of paprika. So I like to use a bit of smoked paprika,
Oh yeah. It's a Penzies.
Penzies, and that kind of really balances also with the different cheeses. And then I'll just add a bit of regular paprika as well.
Okay. So you double barrel paprika.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna mix that all together, and we'll get ready to add our pasta, our noodles, our elbow
Okay.
noodles. So now our sauce is ready. We're gonna start by doing a row of noodles here.
All right. So we're gonna
pasta.
put some of the pasta on the bottom.
Then we're gonna add some sauce.
Hope everybody's kind of hungry out there because we cooked a lot.
You're my stomach.
All right. We're
So
pouring.
we'll start pouring some of that sauce.
All right.
So we'll just kind of do a little jazz here, just even it out.
And a little covered and.
Covered it with the cheese sauce.
Uh-huh.
And then we want to add more of our cheese in this middle here. Again,
Alright.
this is just going to give us more oozy cheese, or mac and cheese here. And then the rest we're going to save for the top. I'll add more
Okay.
here.
So we have one more layer of pasta, one more layer of sauce, and one more layer of cheese.
Yes.
All right.
So now,
And we've preheated our oven to 375.
375.
More sauce.
And we're going to add the rest of
Probably
the sauce.
Danae could be helping now, but you know, she's about there drinking coffee.
Danae, you want to add the last layer of cheese?
Here it comes.
All right, Danae's coming back. She's got an apron, so she's got to do something. Did you finish your coffee?
Not quite. But
Oh, you'll have a minute to do it. All right, so,
So then really we just top it.
well, you put the
With
pasta
all
on,
three?
right?
Oh, duh, the pasta. Ha! I was supposed to do the pasta first. That's okay. We'll mix it all together.
That's right.
So,
This goes under the we can edit anything part.
oh, that's okay. This is the part of making mac and cheese. You just
Right.
do it how it's going to do.
right.
That is
So-
some cheesy cheese.
It's a bunch of cheese and pasta.
And it doesn't matter what order I put the cheese in.
Well, it does. I mean, because you want Gruyere to be accentuating the. No, it doesn't matter.
Cheesy cheese.
How about
There
if
we
I put them
go.
all in one and just
Oh, yeah.
do my
Yeah.
thing?
That's a professional thinking.
That's very professional thinking. That's why Danae is a legend.
That's right. She has all this time that now she's retired. She can think of things like that.
Beautiful.
All right, so Danae's gonna finish off the cheese.
And a lot of folks will do this different ways, either with cheese, a combination of breadcrumbs, or some folks have done cornflakes. we like to do cheese because it gives you a nice crisp top as you put it in the oven.
So I think, actually, let's save the parsley for
Later?
After. Yeah.
All right, so we got our oven. Thank you,
Yeah,
Danae.
we're gonna put
Now
it
you
in
can go
the
back and drink your coffee.
Thank you, Danae.
All right, so we're going to put this
We're
in.
gonna put this in the oven at 375.
Okay. How long
we
is it gonna go
up to
in?
About 400, but
You want it
we'll do
400?
Let's do it actually to 400.
All right.
We'll do it
We can
for
do
about
that.
20 minutes. And it's all cooked, so really the oven is just to bring it all together.
So how long are we doing this?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, so give us a minute. We'll be right back. You guys hungry out there? Yes. All right. All right. So give us a minute, and we'll take this out of the oven, and we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
All right, we're back. So, Tiffany, tell us what we got here.
Yes, so this is our baked mac and cheese.
Look at that
A little
thing.
parsley garnish there.
Yum.
And to
Still
our
hot.
sous chef, Danae, why don't you show your work?
Glad to.
We got some, we got, what are those? Heirloom
Heirloom
tomatoes.
tomatoes.
With,
Balsamic,
and,
olive oil,
Basil.
basilico, si. Sal and pepe. All right. So, Danae, why don't you start with the tomatoes,
all right.
and then we'll go this way, and then we'll switch around.
Okay.
Waiting for Tom to, I'm going to have a yellow one because, you know, they're healthier.
I didn't know
Are
that.
the yellow ones healthier?
No.
Oh. I was gonna say, give me the yellow.
There's no difference. All right, so just pass that to Andrea and Amy and Tom whenever he gets here. And then you're the guest, but so why don't you serve yourself?
Oh, okay.
Because you're the guest.
at that.
And you guys have to bring your plates over here so we can.
Yeah.
So you can
Grab a
see.
potato.
I mean, she did all this hard work. Of course, we're gonna eat it.
Look at how good
All
that
right.
looks.
Wow, just steaming.
Bring your plate, Andrew.
It's
good.
steamy hot.
Serve me.
While it's hot.
Absolutely.
Grab my finger back. There we go. Look at that. Ooh, yes. Ooh, baby.
It looks good. I'm always.
Look at that cheesy cheese.
There's a lot of cheese. It's still a little hot, so.
That's my plate. No, that's my plate. Stop. I'm just showing it to the camera. That's all that presentation.
Right.
There we go.
All right. There's plate
There's an
there,
extra one right
plate there.
And then you can have a tomato down there.
All right, so we got tomatoes down there. We got some mac and cheese. Oh, she's not having mac and cheese. Oh, you want
Anybody
another
else?
tomato?
No.
You sure?
Oh, do you want some?
Well,
You want a half a tomato?
yeah, I'll have a tomato when they're done.
Ellie, could you give Danae a half a tomato, please?
Those heirloom ones were halved.
All right, they're all heirlooms.
Oh, they are
From the heirloom store.
No, what's the
All right, you need to come to me.
Thank you.
Show you in a sec. All right, time to give it a taste. Well, we're gonna taste it. You tell us how you did on your
I will.
heirloom tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay.
Needs a little crunchy top here. Look at that. God, it's just dripping with cheese.
What you think?
Love it. Where's the cheese? The crunchy part on top.
The
There you
tomato
go.
is delicious.
Good.
Well, they're heirloom tomatoes from the heirloom store.
Is it good?
I think we all did. Well, I didn't really do anything except tell jokes. The cheese just, it's so prevalent in mac and cheese, I guess it should be.
But you know how sometimes, to your point, people can, some people, that's the mess up, is they don't make it cheesy enough. You know, so you really do.
You don't
Taste
want
the-
dry mac and cheese.
No, you do
want
not.
a lot of cheese. You want it to feel very gooey.
Yes.
The idea that our children hate this.
No. Kraft mac and cheese.
This is not the stove top.
The microwave.
Nor is it the craft.
So if you did this on TikTok, what are people gonna say?
That's a great question. They're probably gonna say something wrong, but they might like the fact that there's a good gooey cheese pull, because I feel like that's what folks are looking for on TikTok these days. You want it
Gooey
to look
cheese?
nice, gooey cheese.
I think we could have used a little bit more balsamic.
It's there though.
It is?
Just rub it some of the, there's over there, the plate there. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. Add a little bit more.
That could be another rule. No such thing as too much balsamic glaze.
I love balsamic.
That is so good. Yes, I will have a little. Thank you, Ellen.
You know, the audience is helping out there.
Pretty good.
It's basically sugar.
What is, for both of you, favorite thing to eat mac and cheese with?
A fork.
So
Oh, you mean, oh, got it.
because mac and cheese for me is not like a quick weeknight. It's usually a part of a meal. So
Right.
it'll be like usually I like to make me some collard greens and either like a pot roast or fried chicken. Like that's when I normally make like a comfort meal.
It's a comfort meal.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a comfort meal. I mean, you always think about mac and cheese for the holidays. Like
Yeah.
every fixing you can think of at Thanksgiving.
to me is turkey, dressing, mac and cheese, collard greens, yams. I mean, they go together.
They go together real
go
bad.
together. You really notice when the mac and cheese ain't there.
Yes.
You know, it's just like some people do mashed potatoes. I don't do mashed potatoes.
Before you take another bite,
Oh.
before you take another bite,
Oh,
thank you so much.
Oh.
I'm really glad to see you. Thanks for coming.
Same.
Supporting Tiffany here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I mean, there's the tomatoes. I mean, what can I say? You grew them. You grew the basil. You pressed the olive oil, and it just came together. It's delicious. So thank you for your help there. And Tiffany, thank you
Thank you, Charlie.
for coming and talking about
Yes.
pearls for teenage girls. You know, it's the generational
that's a good point.
transfer of leadership in your
Oh, I love that
organization.
so much.
And so you've taken up the mantle and obviously doing great
Fabulous
things.
job. Fabulous job.
So-
And making it her own.
Absolutely. And that's part
Like
of
this
what
mac and cheese.
Yeah. There's enough for lunch and dinner.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So, thanks so much for supporting Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. Each week we talk with one of our community leaders. We actually, in this case, two. Well, retired. An OG community leader. We talk about their work in the community, trying to make the city a better place, and then we cook something, and then we eat it. And I'm not done eating. I don't say my G's. So until next time, thanks for watching. Say goodbye.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, we're out of here.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders. Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders is brought to you by Cooking Secrets for Men, LLC, and was recorded in the 3rd Ward in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We feature and profile community leaders who are trying to make Milwaukee a better place. The tagline is, serious people with serious jobs having a little fun. Our guests choose the recipes that we use on the show. All of our podcasts are available on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get great podcasts. The original YouTube video for this episode is available on our YouTube channel, Cooking Secrets for Men, all rights reserved. Thanks, and see you next time on Cooking with Milwaukee Community Leaders.